Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Devin Adams. I'm a Fortinet instructor here in Tempe, Arizona for Dynamic Worldwide Training Consultants, and it is getting later. Anyways, I'm doing these videos as I just throw things on this topology while I'm studying for my NSC 7 renewal. So I am NSC 7 right now. I do need to renew it, and when I did get certified, though, it was called FortiGate 3. The courses now it's the enterprise firewall. So looks like FortiDuck here, my rubber duck I've been talking to, is back to normal. Good thing here. And the first objective on the NSC 7 and actually on the new NSC 4 materials too is this Fortinet security fabric. So their security fabric is a solution. It's an ideology of how to keep your network safe in this new age of distributed services, right? Because if you think about it, no longer do we just have a simple bastion host or something like that we lock down, or some point of entry, and that's it. I mean, there's many ways to get into our network nowadays. So yeah, so you know what, guys, I'm gonna have to kick on the security fabric. So once again, it's a Fortinet solution. It's kind of like their brand, all right, but it does use a protocol. It is the FortiTelemetry protocol. It used to be called, if you guys have been FortiGating for a while, the FortiClient telemetry, when we used to access it on our interfaces. So that has all changed. But yeah, so I'm kind of going all over the place. Sorry, guys. But basically, how they look at things is your firewalls, okay, are going to have specific roles based off of where they're placed in your enterprise topology, all right, your enterprise network. So our next generation firewalls, our core firewalls, should be beefier, and they are sitting at the edge. They're going to act as your root FortiGate or your main central FortiGates, okay? You might have multiple of these depending on how big your organization is, all right? And then after that, if you need it, there's intersegmented firewalls, all right? So these are firewalls that are acting as not only containers, right, breach containers, but if you think about it, it's also distributing the load of the FortiGate too. So FortiDuck, quack, got all excited about doing Linux. I see he's back to his normal FortiDuck ways. And, we brought in a DevOps team, which is contracted, and they want to do their own firewall. They wanted their own internet connectivity. And, that's fine. But they agreed to pass this off transparently. So we actually have these two interfaces glued together, and they're not aware of the firewall unless they go and get a virus. So we saw that in the last video. But more importantly, though, everything that's being done is being recorded on those FortiGates, and you're going to see with the security fabric, we can actually report that back to a FortiAnalyzer, all right? So that is the purpose of an intersegmented firewall. Now you also have the data center firewalls, all right? And I did try to clean up this topology. It looks worse now. This should be like an Easter bunny now. Anyways, but our data center firewalls are going to be usually the ones that have the most traffic coming in because they're providing services. And we have this server X, which is actually just the GNS3 toolbox, so I could resolve a web page internally. But these things are usually dedicated for like IPS or web filtering, things like that. Not web filtering, but the web application firewall, any kind of like load balancing, right? And that's supposed to be in Dallas, Texas. And then the last one is our distributed enterprise networks. That's a fancy way of saying our branch offices, okay? Or our remote users that are dialing in. So in my previous videos, all right, there's been like 20 of them because I've been, studying for this. We've essentially created the headquarters. We did the SD-WAN, we did the VPN tunnels, we did the MPLS failover, we did the remote connection, all right, to headquarters. We did the intersegmented firewall with the virtual wire pair, okay? Everything is working. We just don't have an official security fabric because we have not configured it. We haven't turned it on yet. And if you think about this, this is a lot of moving parts. This is a lot going on in our network. So for example here, let's go into our, let's just poke around for a little bit. All right, these videos are going to be long, by the way, guys, because they're not really demo. They're just kind of like studying journals for me, I guess. I don't know. But let's go ahead and go into our headquarters FortiGate, okay? Just to kind of give you an example. So I'm going to go ahead and log in with my credentials. We set up an LDAP bind, so I should just be able to use my Windows credentials. All right, there we are. Maybe I'll try to make this. Whoa, that was a lot bigger, wasn't it? Here, just a second, guys. Trying to zoom in so you guys can see this a little better. So here we go. And if you think about it, we really don't have much visibility outside of just this FortiGate. So for example here, if I go into like my FortiView and I go into my, actually they moved it. It's in Security Fabric now. If we go into our physical topology, I don't really know what's all going to be here. So we have the FortiGate, we have the internet, and all it sees here is our MPLS network. It looks like there's a penguin. Okay, that looks like our Linux box. It was able to detect my Windows machine, but do you see how there's really no visibility here? This is the DC server, okay? You can't see the other FortiGates. You can't really see what's going on here, and that's because these machines are not talking to each other. All right. So if I wanted to go ahead and see something like the security breach that happened in my previous video when FortiDuck went and got a virus, all right, if I go over to my dashboard now, am I going to see that on my threat dashboard alert pane? Probably not. So let's take a look here. There's usually a widget here. Oh, I'm not seeing it. What? Are you serious? Oh, man. I so wish there's a way we could add widgets. Yeah, there is. So let's come in here. Let's add the widget. And let's add our threat statistics, okay? So this is what we catch. And as you guys can see here, I mean, nothing's happened because we haven't detected any viruses, all right, on this machine, okay? But unfortunately, on our intersegmented firewall, okay, that's passively inspecting traffic, let's go ahead and log into there, okay? I know it's not secure. I did drop a license on that, guys, just because. Here we go. So admin, password, all right. Cute. So I dropped a license on this thing, guys, but we did not tell it how to get out to the internet. So it doesn't know what to do. All right, I better fix that real quick. So anyways, if the FortiGate does not know how to reach the FortiGuard services, all right, and because this is downstream, that's what's happening. It cannot verify the license. So there's another lesson for you guys. The root VDOM, we don't have VDOMs turned on. So in this case, it's going to just be the FortiGate itself needs to have access to reach the licensing server. So but because we told the FortiGates, or we haven't told the FortiGate where to go for that license, it's just not happening. So unfortunately, we need to go fix that real quick. All right. I mean, I can't even log into the GUI because I dropped the license for it. So here we go. Admin, password. All right. If we do a get system status, you can see here that it's in a pending state. That's why it won't let me log in. Okay, and then if we do a get router, is it info? Yep. And then we do an all. Did I mess that up? Is it database all? Oh, routing table. See, I never use the GUI here. It's probably bad. Let's do details here. All it knows is what's directly attached to it. All right. In fact, we're using ports 2 and 3. Why aren't we seeing them here? That's because ports 2 and 3 are glued together into a virtual wire pair. So they're completely transparent. They don't have IP addresses. This thing does not know how to get to the internet. So we need to tell it how to get to the internet. So we're going to do a config router static. All right. We're just going to do an edit 1. Okay. And then here, if you guys ever need to know what to type or what your options are, you can always do a get and then you can see all the options there. All right, so we need to set a gateway. So let's do a set gateway to 10, 10, 10, 254. That's the upstream FortiGate. Okay, the destination is fine, but we have to tell it what interface to go out. So we're going to say set device to port 1. Into commit, and on the FortiGates, it's all you have to do to commit it to the running config. Now we can do an execute ping 8.8.8, and it should be able to leave now. And to get there, we got an unreachable. That's not good. Okay. Why not? All right, so let's take a look here. Let's do a get. Did I not write that right? No, there we go. It actually should have been able to pass it off, or did I mess up that? You know what? I did mess up that IP address. Gosh dang it. Guys, I put the wrong IP address on there. Config, router, static, edit 1, show, okay? And then I'll set the gateway to 10, 10, 1, 254. Man, I'm such a turkey, okay? And if you guys have watched any of my other videos, I actually record all my screw-ups. And the reason why I do that is because I hate nothing more than YouTube magic. I'm going to show you a 3-minute video on how to set up the security fabric because I'm going to edit all my crappiness. No, you guys get to see all my crappiness. In fact, look at that. Boom, it's now valid. So I should be able to log in. All right, so let's go back. Sorry about that, guys. Nope, come on. Admin password. Here we go. Okay. Later. Oh, come on. That should be good. I'm going to take it. I think it's just stuck on this. And if you guys ever get this, it's just a web browser thing. It's because of the cached whatevers. So there we go. But I just wanted to show you guys. I'm going to go forward now. Okay. And I'm going to turn on that widget that I had before. All right. But now it's on the intersegmented firewall, not on the root FortiGate. So here we go. And as you can see, we have detected a malicious file. All right, and it scanned 122 files. Guys, that's awesome, especially because the fact that my cool DevOps, I'm too cool for the real headquarters machine here, is completely transparently passing through the firewall. It has no idea that the FortiGate's even connected to it from a host perspective. All it sees is the default gateway of this firewall right here. So, but we're still able to catch a virus. But going back to my whole point, us as admins trying to administer to this entire network, that's pretty crappy that we have to look in several different places. So that's the whole point of having a log aggregator or some kind of SIM or some kind of, monitoring software. And in theory, the FortiGate should be able to turn on the security fabric from headquarters, push down all those settings, and then now we should have single visibility from the FortiGate HQ. All right. Now there's a couple things that are required. For starters, you have to have more than one FortiGate. Well, that kind of makes sense. All right, this is an enterprise solution. But another one too is we need to have FortiTelemetry turned on every interface that might be accepting FortiTelemetry traffic directly from the FortiGates. Now, that will be fine for our point-to-point connections and are directly attached, but how the heck do we do that through a VPN tunnel? Anyways, we're going to have to figure that out, right? Anyway, I don't know why I growled. It's getting late, guys. I take my test in like 14 hours. Anyways, and also it requires another piece of hardware. And that hardware is the FortiAnalyzer, all right? So you need to have that because it's going to act as the central logging points for all of our devices, okay? So let's go ahead and do it. So with the magic of GNS3, we are going to drop a FortiAnalyzer. All right, I'll put it on my other server just so I can crank up the resources, okay? And by default, the IP addresses are a little bit different, but I'm just going to call this HQ. All right, FortiAnalyzer. There we go. Okay. And I don't want it publicly facing, so it's going to have to go through the firewall or through a VPN tunnel. So I'm just going to hook up this bad boy to my port 1. All right, and then I gotta let it boot. All right. Also, I'm going to be making a lot of changes on all these machines. And even though I'm not doing central management at this point of my studies, okay, I'm still going to want to put a FortiManager and join all these guys in a backup mode. So that way, when I do commit a change or I do log out one of these FortiGates, it's going to take a stamp of the configuration and hold it for me. So that's another benefit of having a FortiManager, even though the FortiManager is not doing central management yet. I might do that in another set of videos if I ever get there. So I might just run out of time before my exam, but it is a part of the NSC 7 objective. So come here, Mr. FortiManager. All right, there we go. Okay, and I will call this guy HQ FortiManager. And I'm going to let that one boot up also. And I don't know how far you can push these free licenses. I know that they do mess with the cryptographies a little bit when you're trying to connect them using some of the secure connections. You can't link yourself. Well, I know that. All right, there we go. We'll do port 1. And once again, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that behind our FortiGates. Okay, so I'm going to let that boot up. So in your GNS3 environment, guys, these can be kind of beefy. I like how some of these are transparent and some of them aren't. Squirrel. Okay, so just keep an eye out on your resources. So to do that, so you can always come here to your server summary. And I am using up 57% of my RAM, and then Beefcake is my other server that some of these are running off of, and I'm still within the parameters. So we're just going to wait till that boots. So there we go. All right. Well, that's my headquarters. All right, cool. So I'm going to see how long I can actually get away with using these without dropping a license on them. They are good for 15 days the second that you turn them on, but it's going to be admin, no password to get into the FortiAnalyzer for the first time. And let me go ahead and increase my screen resolution so you guys can see it. All right. Change settings. Let's do a appearance change. All right, just make it a little bigger for you guys. See what we're doing here. So once again, we're just gonna make sure that we can get access to it. So I am gonna do a config system interface. All right, do a little show here. And the default IP address on these things is 192.168.199. And that's true in real life too. All right, if it's not a VM and a FortiGate VM, that's usually the Fortinet's default IP address. So we're going to do a edit port 1, and we're going to set the IP address to 10.10. I forgot what our DHCP range was. Hope I'm not doing any overlaps. So I'll say 150 for the FortiAnalyzer. All right, with the /24. All right, that'd be nice if I did an octet instead of a triplet. Anyways, there we go. Okay, do an end. Okay, cool. And that should be enough to get access to the GUI. All right, so, and then on my FortiManager, okay, and I'll go ahead and I'll do that again. I should really set the default font on this a little higher, guys. Sorry about that. All right, once again, it's the same story. Okay, no password, admin, config system interface, and it's at default 192. But here we're going to edit, or not edit, yeah, I am, edit port 1, set IP address to 10.10.1.252 with the /24. All right, and that should be enough. So let's go ahead and I'm going to leave the FortiManager. No, you know what? I might as well just get it over with. So let's go into our PC1. Okay. I'll try to make that a little bigger for you guys. You know what? If I'm going to be here for a while, I'm actually just going to do this right. so I don't have to mess with it anymore. Just increase it until it kind of fits the screen. There we go. Should we go up another one? Should we do it? Quack. 40 duck says yes. 40 duck says yes. Oh, should we do another one? I don't know what my boundaries are. Oh, yeah. I'm just kind of stepping through this until I find the sweet spot on the resolution here. You know what? That looks good. All right, sorry about that. That way I don't have to do the distorted resolution there. So, all right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and log into our FortiAnalyzer. So we're going to do 10.10.1.250, okay? We should get some kind of warning page saying that it's not trusted. That's fine. All right. We'll set up certs someday. All right. Admin no password. It's probably going to prompt us to change it. That's fine too. All right. So here we go. I'm going to use a super secret password. All right. It's I love FortiDuck. No, it's not. So here is the FortiAnalyzer. Now it's barking at me about the license. I got 14 days. That's fine. Okay. But in order for this thing to start listening for FortiGates to register with it, we have to make sure we go to System Settings, and we have to make sure, okay, that for starters, let's go to Network here, and let's tell it how to get out. See the default gateway? All right, 254. Okay. Now, SNMP, we're not going to use that yet, but here where it says FortiManager, we're going to say yes, because we're actually going to end up marrying our FortiAnalyzer and FortiManager together, so we don't have to go into two separate places to look for the addresses, all right? So I'm going to hit OK, and that should be it, okay? I'm also just going to go to my dashboard super quick while I'm here, and I'm going to change that to HQ FortiAnalyzer, all right? So HQ FortiAnalyzer, there we go. And remember, if you are doing your licensing, or not your licensing, your logging, guys, you want to make sure that it's set into the right location. So right now, I think it's thinking on Pacific time, which that is the right time right now in Arizona, but there is an Arizona tab because we're too cool for things like daylight savings. All right. We don't want any of that business. So now another thing too, guys, it looks like, did it take all my RAM? Because I put like a boatload of RAM on this thing. So that's kind of cool. I'm not going to complain. So, but as you can see, I also dedicated it to 2 cores. All right. It's a little bit beefier. And it looks like we have plenty of storage. So you know what, guys? We should be good for our lab environment. Okay, so that was the FortiAnalyzer being set up. And you know what? Just for giggles, let's just do the FortiManager. So 10.10.1.252. Okay. The FortiManager and the FortiAnalyzer, by the way, are almost identical when it comes to their OS. So don't be thrown off by that. Oh, I have no password yet on that. So, okay. And I'm going to see how far we can get away with the free licensing on this one. So, all right. So here's our FortiManager. We're going to go to System Settings. I'm going to change that. Host name and that system time. All right. Here we go. Bloop. All right, Arizona, because that's where we's at. And then also, I'm going to call this HQ FortiManager. HQ FortiManager, perfect. Okay, and then I'm going to come down here to our, let's see here, network. Yep. All right. And we need the default gateway. So 10.10.1.254. All right. We'll hit OK. And yeah, guys, I think that should be good for right now. Now, the thing about the FortiManager is that I do not want to actually use it for essential management at this time, but it would be nice to use it as a repository, so as a config repository. So I'm going to turn on ADOMs, which are administrative domains, all right, because you have to do that in order to do your backup ADOM. So here we go. All right. See, right? So, and now I can actually create a backup ADOM. And anything that I join into this backup ADOM is just going to make little snapshots of the configs on the FortiGate so I can roll back for when I screw up in my lab environment. So, all right, here we go, ADOMs. All right, let's create a new one. It's going to be for our FortiGates. And we're going to call this, are you guys ready? FortiBackup. How cool is that? So, all right, we don't need central management for AP devices. You know what? Let's just turn them on to explore them later on. All right, and it's going to be backup. Watch, they all disappear. That's right. There is no central management. I'm such a ding-dong. That's okay. That'll be a different lesson. All right, so there we go. Our FortiManager is created with a backup ADOM, so our repositories can be stored. All right, so this video is going on way too long, guys. So why don't I go ahead and you know what? No, not yet. Not yet. Before I end this video and start attaching things to the security fabric, all right, I'm going to go ahead and actually turn on my access to the FortiManager and join this guy to the FortiManager as a backup ADOM. So if I do screw anything up going forward here, guys, I can roll back ahead of time, all right? And then I'll end the video, and then we'll do the security fabric. So, because like I said, I don't like keeping these too long. And it's already gone on too long. All right, so here we go. So let's log into our FortiGate, our headquarters FortiGate. Nope, that is not my password. All right, here's my password. Oh my gosh. Whew. Okay. I thought I was going to have to use the maintainer accounts. Yeah, the FortiGate does have a way to restore the super admin password if you have physical access, but the FortiManager doesn't, by the way. So in order to get this thing to even talk to FortiManager, we have to go over to our network and we have to come to our interfaces, all right? And then pick the interface that the FortiManager is plugged into, facing, which is going to be our port 6. And we have to make sure that we have FMG access turned on. And that is also true for the FortiAnalyzer. All right, so, okay, here we go. Nice. And now I think they moved it to security fabric. Isn't that crazy? I know. Let's see here. Central management, FortiManager, and a backup ADOM. See how easy that is, guys, right? And then I'm going to say 10.10.1.252. Okay. I'm going to hit apply. And then it's going to be at a pending status. So, yay. All right. This is nice, by the way, if you guys have been doing this for a while. They now give you the serial number of the FortiManager, so you know you at least reached it. Before it was just like not authorized. You're like, wait, what? So, but let's go back into our FortiManager. Why did I type in FortiManager? All right, there we go. And by the way, the FortiManager looks so much like the FortiAnalyzer. Anyways, here we go. So when you join something to a FortiManager, it always is unregistered in the root ADOM. So we're going to come here. We're going to see our unregistered device, our HQ FortiGates. We're going to right click. We're going to say add, but add where? To the backup ADOM. All right. Also, you see where it says credential, admin. I guess we don't need to put in our credentials. So HQ FortiGates. All right. There we go. And once it's added, all the changes that we make, all right, let me go to my backup ADOM, will be recorded here. And then I can come here and I can, take a look at what's going on. See, I can still poke my head in there and take a look on the FortiGate. But most importantly is this right here, guys, and that is the revision. All right, so any changes that is made, it'll be recorded, and that way I can quickly revert if I need to. All right, so not too bad, huh? So not too bad at all. All right, so before I go, here's a bonus for you guys. Just so we don't get the FortiManager and the FortiAnalyzer mixed up, if you come here to your admins settings, you can pick one of these cool backgrounds. You can't do that on the FortiGate. So let's make our FortiManager a worldly background. There you go. I know this drives some people nuts, but I think it's party. All right, guys. So in this video, okay, what did we do? I'll stop it right here. We explained the security fabric, what it did. We also went ahead and added in the two devices, okay? The FortiAnalyzer, the FortiManager, and now we have everything set up to do the security fabric. So I'm going to stop it right there, and I'm going to come right back in, and yeah, we'll connect it all up to the security fabric. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching.